Angelina, and thank you so much for joining me today. It's a lovely, lovely day outside. It's very sunny. Very sunny out. So basically, I just wanted to just talk a little bit about the matters of being lonely or feeling lonely, feeling of loneliness. This is kind of a touchy, sensitive topic, a vulnerable one at that, but I don't know, I just kind of felt the need to express some things. Basically, I'm going to be expressing things from my personal experiences and from what I've learned. Sorry if you can't relate to this, but maybe someone out there can relate to what I'm going to be talking about. If not, sorry, but thank you for listening to me anyway. Touching on the feeling of loneliness. Well, I do think that there are pros and cons to being lonely. We're looking at the pros. Gotta loosen up a little bit. You tell that I'm not used to talking in front of a camera. When I think of loneliness, I think of the pros and cons of being lonely. I think, okay, we won't go with pros. We'll say benefits. I like that word better. Benefits. The benefits of being or feeling lonely. Take a shot every time I said lonely. So the benefits. I think you can benefit from that feeling, because I think it gives us a sense of self-discovery, it's self-awareness, and it kind of just opens up your eyes in that aspect of who do I want to be, or who do I essentially. So basically, when you feel isolated from the rest of the world, you can gain a deeper understanding of yourself, who you are, and who you essentially want to be as a person. We ask ourselves the question, what is our purpose for living exactly? These questions can be kind of scary, because they can make us feel lost or empty or discouraged. However, I do feel that those feelings are the very thing that can drive us to figuring out what the answer to those questions are. It'll light, I guess, the fire underneath you could say, when we learn to acknowledge and embrace those feelings rather than just, pushing them away, or, not facing them, or just bottling them up, and you don't let yourself feel those things. But when you learn to acknowledge and embrace them and let yourself feel those things, I think you can use those negative emotions for your good, and that way you can, tackle life head on, as it may or may not come at you. Over to another benefit, I think, better appreciation of people. Now, I didn't really want to bring this up because, there's already a lot of videos on the internet about the pandemic, COVID-19 and all that, and I just don't like really talking about anything in that nature. But so, as we all know, we all hit a global pandemic last year at the beginning of 2020, and we had to be quarantined for X amount of months, and it was a very, very hard time for a lot of people, because we were spending time every day with our families. We were in lockdown, so it became very, very challenging, a very challenging time for all of us. And it just kind of, being in isolation, it just made us feel like we were kind of forced to face ourselves in that way. We had to face, we kind of made us reevaluate our lives, like, what am I doing? What am I doing with my life? And yeah, I just feel like it was very hard. And especially if you're at home with an annoying sibling, or an aunt, uncle, whatever your household may have been. We were spending every day, with those people. And I feel like it did have, of course, yeah, it was challenging. It did have its negative connotations, but also I think we got something good out of it, because I feel like we were spending every day of every moment together. Yes, that can be very stressful, but at the same time, I feel we also learned more things about each other. Maybe new things that we didn't necessarily know about each other before, and I think essentially that brought people closer together, as a family and just as people in general. And we were also probably desperate for human contact. I know I definitely was desperate for a conversation at times, and it just made me think. It definitely made me think about, what my life is. I did go through a little bit of a crisis myself, but I feel like I was going somewhere with this, and now I lost it. What am I talking about? The pandemic. We're not talking about the pandemic. We're talking about how hard it was through the pandemic, I guess, and being in isolation and being away from people, from your friends and your family, certain members of your family. And especially if you were living alone, gosh, that must have been, torture for those people who were living by themselves. They are probably really desperate for that human contact. And it just makes you realize how much we humans actually need that social interaction to survive. I feel like that's how we can appreciate people more, is that you just don't know if you're ever going to be able to see your loved one again, or see your family, or see your friends again. Because as we all know, tomorrow is never promised, and you just never know what's going to happen. And look what happened. There was a whole pandemic going on, and it's like, wow, nobody expected that, I think another benefit of being lonely as well is I guess if you're a shy introvert like me, you know that we, in general, we like our quiet time, we like our space, we like keeping to ourselves. But there are those occasional moments where you just want, you're just feeling this random burst of energy, and you just want to go out, and you are feeling spontaneous, and you just want to do things and try new things. But the problem with that is that you just don't have anybody to go out and do those things with. And that's kind of, that's the hard thing about being an introvert, I guess. But most of the time we do our alone time. We like being by ourselves. We enjoy our own company. I know I definitely enjoy my own company. I like watching movies and shows, TV shows by myself. I enjoy having a drink by myself. I don't really drink. I'm not an alcoholic or anything like that. I do drink occasionally, sometimes. Where was I going with this again? I keep losing it. A little awkward because I'm just talking in front of a camera, and anybody can at any moment just walk by or drive by and stare at me like, what is that girl doing over there? But when you're an introvert, those are typically your problems, but you can make change. The only way I feel that you can make change is if you go out and actually put yourself out there, actually make an effort to make friends and to try new things. Not saying that if you're an introvert you don't have any friends at all. Maybe one or two at most. But you can definitely be an introvert and have a lot of friends, I think. Just is when they invite you to go out to do things, most of the time you say no. But go out, actually make the effort to go to that party that they invite you to, or just a gathering or some kind of event, a concert, wherever they invite you to go do. Just make the effort, and when you do, you'll see that good things are actually starting to happen for you. Because you took that step, and you're doing it, and you see that good things do actually happen when you step out of your comfort zone. It does feel lonely at times when you don't really have any friends, or you don't have a lot of friends, and you don't really go out, explore the world or anything like that. Sorry I'm moving the camera around so much is that just the lighting is so bad. Like it'll go dark and then light and dark. What was I saying? Maybe if I put these on, I won't feel so awkward. Oh my gosh. Why is this so hard? You know, I usually have like a million thoughts going on in my mind. I'm one of those people who are just always thinking about stuff. Alright, well, I guess that settles it for the benefits of being, feeling alone. Oh yeah, I was saying, I forgot it again. I'm just gonna, little break really quick. Let me just, yeah, so, I guess, yeah, that's the challenging part about being an introvert, is that you like being to yourself, because that's just your nature. You know, you like being alone and everything, but there are those moments where you are, you know, you just wish you had more friends and, you know, people to have fun with. And yeah, at those times you can feel very, very lonely. Like, so yeah, I guess that settles it for the benefits of being alone or feeling alone. And let's go over, I guess, to the negative part of that. So the negatives of being lonely, I would say, I guess, it can be dangerous feeling lonely when the feeling is so overwhelming, because at that point you're just trying to fill the void with anything and anyone in the world. You know, you're trying to fill that void that you feel with anything. What am I trying to say here? You're just trying to fill that void with anything that you can get your hands on, basically, and in that, essentially, you'll start to make bad choices, because maybe you're suddenly you just want to hang out with like an ex-boyfriend or an ex-girlfriend, and or maybe some friends that you had to cut off in the past because you didn't necessarily. You had your own issues and you didn't get along, and that it just didn't work out. But now you're just making the choice to hang out with them because, yeah, you just don't want to feel that horrible feeling of feeling like you are unwanted and unloved, and it can become very overbearing, and you just have to hang out with someone to just make that feeling go away, or try to at least. And maybe that'll work for a time, but I mean, in the end, I don't think it. I mean, it just. I feel like, in a sense, that kind of makes it makes you feel worse, you know, because it's not quenching your thirst, it's just making you feel like you want it more. It's not quenching that feeling, it's just making that feeling worse, if that makes any sense. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna take these off. Ugh, the camera. Bro, I'm sorry. Alright, I'm gonna hold it. Ugh. Well, I don't think that. I mean, I guess that covers it for the negatives. I can't really think of anything else at the moment. I mean, I've definitely had my fair share of these terrible feelings. I guess you could say I did kind of go through a bit of a crisis myself. I think it was before the pandemic hit, though. I can't exactly pinpoint when it happened, but I'm okay now. I'm happy. I would say that I'm pretty happy and content with just being by myself, being able to live on your own. I think that's one of the greatest superpowers that you can have, is just being whole and happy and complete within yourself. Like, that's just awesome. That's amazing to me. And for anyone out there who is struggling with those kinds of things, you're gonna be okay. Like, you can do it. Like, it's part of being an adult is knowing how to be by yourself and knowing how to take care of yourself physically and mentally. For anyone who is feeling alone out there, just know that you're not alone. You're not alone. It's all a part of human nature, and it's a part of human nature to want to be loved and to be nurtured. I mean, that's understandable as a human. Like, we humans, we need that. We need that to survive. So, and I think that's another thing too, is like when you are already feeling like lonely and you maybe take an interest in a person and you like ask them out or something, or not even necessarily with specifically like romantic relationships, but with like just friends, people that you would like to be friends with, and let's say you propose that you want to go hang out and do something, but you get rejected by that person. Like, it just, the blow hurts that much harder when you're already feeling lonely. Like, that, it just sucks. Like, you feel more vulnerable. Like, little things, besides that, like little things will get to you, like normal things that wouldn't necessarily get to you if you hadn't been feeling lonely in the first place. Yeah, I mean, it's just all part of life and being human. I mean, even though we may feel alone, or you are alone, you're living alone, know that you're never standing alone, because God said in Deuteronomy 31 verse 6 that He is with you always, and He will never leave you nor forsake you. I kind of forget the words exactly, but I will put them right here somewhere. I'll put the verse here so you can see. Yeah, I guess that's it for now. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out right here. If you made it to the end, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next video. Bye. I'm lonely just like you. 'Cause I'm lonely just like you.